What's going on? Nitro Gamer 7 here. Wanted to talk a little bit about Mario Tennis Aces. Just got the full game a couple days ago, obviously, and it's fantastic. I think it's a lot of fun. I just beat Adventure Mode today. I want to just give some of my own thoughts on what I think of the game, what it has to offer, and some thoughts on how things are. So the first thing is adventure mode. What you do in the game is you kind of have an RPG type style thing. I beat the final match that you play, and then there is a boss afterwards. I did that. Haven't beaten all of the challenges yet. There's like a 400 rally challenge that's crazy hard. So I haven't done everything yet, but I have beat the main story, and it takes about, I'd say, 2.5 to 3 hours to do everything. And it's pretty fun. Enjoyed it a lot. The tournament mode, you can just play, you can do an online tournament, which I did that with the demo. I haven't done that yet in the full game, but I would say it's the same thing. And then you have, the computer tournament. And then you have what is free play, and that's where you can play with people online. One of my buddies is going to try to get the game next week, so I haven't really played online with any of my friends yet, but I have done some online matches, and so I'm going to just show off an online match real quickly. So let's see, we'll do solo. Now, I'm kind of a lame duck, and I like playing simple. That's my favorite way of playing the game. I think the stuff with the standard mode, there's too many bells and whistles, kind of some just crazy stuff. So I'll try to get a quick match in. And then there's some other things I want to just discuss. I was reading some articles yesterday, and it's a good point. I actually noticed this when I got some guys over. We did a couple 4-player matches. There was 3 of us in a computer, and we were just hitting around doing some doubles. And there's no way right now, as the game stands, where you can play, let's say I want to do 5 sets with 6 games for each set. You could do that in Mario Tennis for 64. You could do it in Mario Power Tennis. You could do it in Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. You could do it in any Mario Tennis game because it is a tennis game. And then here, for whatever reason, you only play tiebreakers online. And even just with friends, it seems like you can only do tiebreakers, which is surprising. So I hope they fix that, and I hope it gets better. So we'll see. I think online is really good. I'm impressed with the lack of input lag and just lag in general. I guess I should say it feels really nice. It's fun. So I hope that the online continues to be good. They definitely need to change their rule sets a little bit. So that's pretty much how online works. That was fun. Actually, that was more enjoyable than the last few matches I played. I won there, but the last few guys I played did even worse. So we had a couple good rallies. So that's online. And I haven't tried team before. But yeah, I guess like when people compare it to like Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, you know, I would say that there's more content. But even then, like, okay, you've got the tournament mode in this game. And I've only played through one tournament. I mean, I did the Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, and Star Cup, so I've done 3 cups. But if you go to the Star Cup, it shows, like, I've played through with Chain Chomp. And so there is a little crown next to my character. But it doesn't seem to act as a star. It's just there. It's like, oh, yep, I beat it. And it's like, okay, cool. So I guess unless you like bragging with your friends that, oh, yeah, I did that, it doesn't have a star. It doesn't increase your character's power. It doesn't do anything cool like that. So I guess it's for the sake of an achievement that isn't even really an achievement. It's just there. So that is kind of silly. I wish they would have like stars added to your characters or some incentive to do it. And I guess that's a struggle with gamers now. I know that's a struggle for me where it's like, hey, the incentive should be its own thing to just say that you did it. Okay, but I think it'd be kind of nice to have a reward of having something like a star or some reason beyond just saying, oh yeah, I did it with every character for the Star Cup. Okay, they since the 64 days, they gave you a star for beating it. They gave you something. Another thing is, it doesn't look like there's records in this game. So, like, doing the free play tournament, you should just instantly go to the star. You should only play Mushroom and the Flower Cup once, because it doesn't seem like there's any records in this game, which I'm surprised by that. It's not a huge deal. I don't think it really matters. But it was. It just kind of surprised me. It's like, you know, you've had records in all of the other games. Just kind of as a, like, if you do want to brag off to your friends, it's like, oh, hey, here's this thing you can do. So there's no records. There's no way to prove if I've beaten every single cup with, you know, if I've beaten the Mushroom Cup with every character, which seems kind of frustrating and obnoxious and tedious. But that was something that you could do in the other games. It added to the longevity of this game. And I've already beaten Adventure Mode. There's no need to play through the rest of it. I'm going to try to beat the 400 Rally one, and there's like one other little mini game I haven't beaten. So there's like 2 challenges. But once I've beaten those, there's no reason to go back and play Adventure Mode again. There is like an RPG type style of like you play as Mario, and when you play through the stages, your stats increase, which is like, oh, that's kind of neat. But there's no way that you personally customize your stats besides changing rackets. But as you progress through the story mode, you eventually get rackets that are better than your previous. So you add to your rackets, but there's no reason to like change which racket you're using. You always want to use your best racket. So the RPG element of upgrading, there isn't any sort of strategy to it or anything. It just kind of does things for you. So I don't know. That's different. I've not played swing mode, so I have no idea what it's like. I'm sure that it's a blast swinging around Joy-Con like a goof and having fun with a legitimate tennis experience, similar to kind of like a Wii Sports. But I personally like just using the Pro Controller, and so that's how I play the game. I guess I'll try one more game really quickly. I'll go back into online. Let's see. I'll just do that. And I'll try a standard match, see how it goes. Overall, I think the game is really fun. I think that there's a basic patch they can have to fix the rule set that I was talking about, so you can play more games, not just tiebreakers, and make that, this would make the experience a lot better, and especially for local play. I have fond memories of playing Mario Power Tennis with my buddies in high school, and even in community college. We'd play Mario Tennis for hours in you know, our different basements. We'd swap back and forth of whose house we were going to play, and yeah, we just do doubles, and we did it for a long time. It was a blast. But you can play more games, I guess, but you're not going to have nearly as long of matches and near as depth, and just, yeah, there isn't the intensity there when you only have, you know, a smaller round. Like, hey, when you do a tiebreaker to 7, it's just not as long. It's pretty self-explanatory. Well, I did well on the last online match. We'll see how this one goes. We've got terrible connection, so we'll see. Throw that excuse right out. That worked. So that match was obviously a little bit more choppy, but I won, so I guess that was enjoyable. So I'm going to back out to the menu and just kind of give some final thoughts on things. So my final thoughts with this game, I think it's a really fun game. I think it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It's got tiebreaker all over on the title screen, so I guess it's like, hey, it's trying to get in the intensity of the moment. The intensity would last a lot longer if you added full-fledged matches to a tennis game. Now, I'm not just going to be that guy that complains about that, but I think that is an easy fix. It'd be something that Camelot or Nintendo, whoever, can just fix it and be done with it. And I think this would make this game a lot more enjoyable. As it stands right now, it's much better than Ultra Smash. I will give it that. The mechanics of the game, it seems more balanced. The net play, just especially simple mode. I played simple mode in college with a couple guys, and it didn't help that one of my friends could beat me pretty easily. He'd literally just pick Rosalina, go to the net, and just mash the Y button like a maniac. And lobs in that game didn't seem to be as good. There's just some weird things. So it's like it was just kind of a brain dead game, in my opinion. This game feels mechanically like it's a lot better game, a much better game. And so I enjoy that. But as far as the rest of the game itself, I wish that they would, again, just have a simple patch so that you could make that work better for matches. Just make it a regular tennis game for the matches. Don't just have tiebreakers. Don't just have, a best out of 3 games. Have something that's got some depth to it. That's how tennis is supposed to be played. If someone wants to have the shorter games, make it as an option. But the way it is right now, it's extremely limited, and I think that that's worth fixing. But the rest of the game, I think, is really fun. I like that they're having DLC characters. Adds to the longevity of the game, making it fresh. Having more characters, just expanding the roster, all of that's just really good. And I know that's a lot of the same thing, just in different words, but I do like that they're adding DLC characters. I think that that's very cool. I'm hoping that they would have some other characters, like Wiggler was always my favorite in Mario Power Tennis. I doubt he's going to come back, but one can only hope. But yeah, just expanding the roster, I think, is awesome. They've already got a fairly large cast. I think they have like 16 characters as it stands right now. They're going to have 3 or 4 more characters added via DLC, and I'm sure that there's more characters on the way. So that's just really, really cool. So well done for that, and I hope that they can maybe add maybe additional maps or additional modes. I don't know, little things. But I know with how little effort was put into Ultra Smash, people are kind of concerned about that with Mario Tennis Aces. One thing I think is worth pointing out is that the Switch is a much more successful system, and with that, I would imagine that Nintendo, Camelot, they will take greater care of this game because it is on a system that really is more successful. It's just more well loved and universally cared for than the Wii U was. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash just came out so late in the system's life cycle, anyways, and it already wasn't a very good game on a not very good system. I liked the system. Most people didn't, for what it's worth. And so I think that Mario Tennis Aces has a shot at, getting a patch, getting something. You can already see version, 1.1.0 down in the left-hand corner. And stuff like Mario Kart, obviously it's a much bigger game, but Mario Kart received patches along the way. And I have reasons to believe that, if they've got a version number down on the left-hand side, that probably gives us a reason to think, well, we're going to get some patches. And obviously there'll be some version updates with, oh yeah, there's a character update. Of course you're going to get that. But I'm hoping that they're going to have additional patches. Beyond that, that is Mario Tennis Aces. Where would I rank it 1 to 10? Probably give an 8.5, maybe an 8. And my reasoning is that the stuff that's good, I think the mechanics of the characters are really well placed. I think some characters like Chain Chomp, for example, seems a little broken. The dives, especially on like Bowser, if I played Bowser and Mario Tennis for N64, there's just character differences. Diving back then basically did nothing, and you would just get destroyed. As soon as you dove once, it's like, well, the next shots you're done for because you're not going to have time to react. And this game doesn't have that as much. It seems like you can kind of just have really long rallies, and I don't know. It's different. It's not a bad thing. Mechanically, the game has changed. I think N64 is still my favorite version of the game, just because of how much depth there can be for the simple mode matches. But maybe there'll be more of that in this game. Maybe that will change when people get better online. Maybe it'll be more enjoyable. But right now, people are not very good, and I don't mean to be that to like be a cocky jerk because there's plenty of games I'm not good at. But right now, people are not very good at simple mode, and so yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's more depth to it than what I realize. Long story short, I guess Mario Tennis Aces. I wish that they can add maybe more content, having stuff for records, different things like that. I think will add to the game. Maybe some additional tournaments like the Planet Cup, like they had back in '64. I think was cool. They had like a gimmick cup mode in Mario Power Tennis. I don't know exactly what it was called, and that was kind of frustrating to play through. But again, it did add to the depth and just to the longevity of the game. And you want something that will add to the length of the game, more content. Because I paid $60 for this game, and so you want it to last. And right now, the way it's holding out, I'll probably play it with some buddies and stuff. I'll definitely have that for the multiplayer. That will never go away. But I think as far as the single player content, I want more of it there because I've already beaten adventure mode. It took me about 3 hours. It took me 2 days, just spliced up into pieces, and it's already done. So yeah, I have no reason to go back and play that because it doesn't unlock anything. There is no reason to go back. And you're like, oh yeah, well, it's fun. Well, it is fun, but it's probably not fun enough that I'm going to go back and play it again because there's no reason to. And maybe that's a flaw of myself with video games. But yeah, if there's no incentive to unlock anything or a hard mode or anything, okay, I beat it. But again, the content seems to be slightly lacking in this game. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash was seriously lacking. But like when I played Mario Tennis Open, whatever the one was on the 3DS, haven't played it in a while. played the tar out of that game because there was so much to do in that game. And even if it was just you had a basic kind of story mode, you can customize your Mii. You could play through the Star Tournament with every character. There was loads of characters, loads of DLC characters. So that really added to the longevity of the game. This game, especially with not having stars, there's no reason to play through the tournament mode other than to say that I guess that you did it. But again, even when you don't have to play through the Mushroom and the Flower Cup, you play through the Star Cup, play your 3 matches, 10 minutes, it's done. The N64 game, it took a lot longer to get stars for every character because you had to play through the tournaments. And in this game, it doesn't have you do that. So, yeah, overall, I think it's a great game. I think it's worth getting. I hope that they patch things. I'm done. That was crazy long rambling. I'm sorry. There's a reason that I'm a low quality YouTube channel. But that is Mario Tennis Aces. Do I think it's worth picking up? I would hold off for a while. If you've got buddies around that you can play with, on a consistent basis, I'd say, once on a weekend or twice on a weekend or something, twice a week, sure, pick it up. I think it's a great party game. I love multiplayer games, so I'm very biased that way. If you're just, a single person and you don't have a lot of interaction with people, would you buy it just for the online? Probably not. And I say that because right now the online is just so lacking. There's so limited of options, and I hope that they patch it. But if they don't, yeah, it's not worth $60. If it went down to 40, sure, nab it up. I don't see that happening anytime soon because first-party Nintendo games, especially first-party Mario Nintendo games, they stay relatively high-priced. But I do love that they're adding extra characters. I think that's cool. So yeah, I would wait for a while on this game. Just wait for, I'd say, another week or two just to kind of see more of if there's going to be more updates to the game. I know that that's a quick response, but especially having something where you can't play full tennis matches in a tennis game seems really silly. And I'm not trying to be a crybaby on that. I just think that every other Mario Tennis game has had that. That seems really silly that they wouldn't have that. And I think it will get quickly corrected. I have faith in Nintendo that they will do that. I don't know if I have faith in Camelot anymore. I used to back in the GameCube days, but their quality seems to have slipped. But now it seems to be slightly restored with Aces. And my confidence would increase tremendously in Camelot if they were to get involved in patching this game. So I hope that they do that. But that is Mario Tennis Aces. I'd give it 8 to an 8.5. Great reasoning, I guess, behind it. It's still fun mechanically. I think it plays really well. The online really is pretty solid, especially just for input lag and delay and just choppiness, fluidity, all those things. I think it plays really well. I hope that they add and correct the things to this game of adding full tennis matches. That is Mario Tennis Aces in roughly a 23-minute video. So enjoy and thanks for watching.